With your leave, I rise to make a brief statement as Prime Minister, and it's basically a follow-up to the statement I made at the last sitting, which gave an overview of the program for the 3rd anniversary celebrations of the Team Unity administration. I want to report to the Honourable House and to the country at large that those celebratory activities have been going tremendously well. And indeed, last night, we had the first in the series of town hall meetings at the Newtown Community Centre. I want to express our delight at the large turnout that we had there on that occasion. And I wish, as Prime Minister, to commend the ministers who led the presentations at that particular town hall meeting. And they were our Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Sean Richards, member for St. Christopher 5, the Minister of Public Infrastructure and member for St. Christopher 1, the Honourable Ian Patches-Libert. I myself participated, and I am, of course, the favoured representative for the people of St. Christopher 7, several of whom are here this morning, this afternoon, and I must thank them, as I have thanked them over the years, for a tremendous show of support dating as far back as 1993. To God be the glory on that account. And I equally must thank our Senior Minister and Member for Nevis 10, the Honourable Vance Hamry, for the excellent way in which he presided over the proceedings last evening. We are going to continue this week after week in accordance with the convenience of the Cabinet and our ability to do so. And in that regard, next Tuesday at 7:30, we will be at the Joshua Obadiah Primary School in Molyneux for a similar town hall meeting. I want to place and record our deep thanks to the organizers of what has been and planned as an extended week of activities. And without doing injustice to the membership of the committee, I want to hail the outstanding work in the planning and organizing of this extended week from two of our citizens, Miss Martilla Williams, an outstanding worker and organizer of international quality. And I equally want to thank Mr. Wallace Wilkin. Those two have provided very able leadership for this extended week of activities. And they have been reporting to Senator Wendy Phipps from the Cabinet. So I place and record the Cabinet deep appreciation for the thoughts that went through and the planning that went into the termination of the extended week. The week continues today, of course, with this sitting of the Parliament. And, of course, it is part of the commemorative activities that we should come to the Parliament, from which the business of government has to, as far as the legislative agenda, be effective. And it is in recognition, too, of the importance of the Parliament at the fulcrum of the heart of the Westminster democracy that the organizers ensured that during this extended week we should come into the honorable chambers. Like you, I want to commend all those who have come out today to be part of this momentous occasion. For this particular sitting, we have tabled for first reading a bill which has been popularized as the tenure of the office of the Prime Minister bill. This is part of our manifesto commitment as it relates to the good governance agenda. And it seeks simply to restrict the holder of the office of Prime Minister to a two-term period of service. So this is important that we are fulfilling this mandate, as we had always been committed to. And indeed, very early, we brought a bill which subsequently we have had to review. And even today, the leader of government business brought a slight amendment to the title of the bill. So it has always been a work in progress. Thursday the 22nd, which is tomorrow, is the date in which members of the cabinet were formally presented to the public at a ceremony at the historic Warner Park. And we have chosen that symbolic date for members of Parliament to go back to their constituencies. And so we have dubbed that tomorrow as Constituency Outreach Day, and it will take the form of visits determined by the constituency group and one-on-one meetings as determined by the representatives and their teams. And Friday the 23rd, that is day after tomorrow, we have the launch of the National Health Insurance Implementation Commission, and this will take place at Marriott Hotel at 9:30 a.m. This again is actioning one of our manifesto commitments to bring affordable health care to all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Even then, as we are celebrating and commemorating, things are happening in relation to the long list of commitment that we have made. Clearly, we are not a government sleeping or resting on our laurels. Every waking moment is a moment spent in contemplation of how best we could advance, because the agenda of all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And that is why the commendations we have had have been many. Last night, one eminent gentleman called and he said, really, Mr. Prime Minister, Team Unity has a lot of things to celebrate, and we certainly do. We certainly do. And we celebrate them in our heart and in our minds, and we will celebrate them with the continued inspiration to do even more on behalf of all the people of St. Christopher and Nevis, over 15,000 voters who, when faced with a choice, chose Team Unity. That major manifesto commitment, the launching of the National Healthcare Insurance Commission, will be followed by a National College Health and Career Fair, which will take place in historic Independence Square, and that then will be followed in the latter part of the day from 5 p.m. with a positive concert featuring some of our most acclaimed artists and cultural exponents. And Sunday, the 25th February, we go to church and we are inviting all to come to church. The church service will be held at the Calvary Baptist Tabernacle Church at Romney's Ground, Sandy Point. This is Dr. Hazel's church. The service is expected to start promptly at 10 a.m. And this is a church that starts its service on time. So I want to encourage all those in the branches who are organizing transportation to do so early, so that people can get to church very early. in our tradition, it's not nice to go to church late. After that event at 7 p.m. on Sunday night, we will have an amazing experience. The Smile Again Gospel Concert will take place at Greenlands, starting from 7, and it will end at close to midnight. And we have brought in an artist of high acclaim from abroad in Papa San, and he will have support come in, or the concert will also feature the Band of Love, Joel Watley, an acclaimed singer of, again, international quality, Alison Dorr, and many, many others, too numerous to mention. And so I invite you to come out Sunday at Greenlands and be part of this celebratory activity, where we really thank God, who has been so graciously good to the people of St. Christopher and Nevis, for the many accomplishments which we are only able to have achieved because of his love. And so I will be there, and all of us will be there, and all of you out there should make an effort to be there. At our cabinet meeting, which was held at Nevis on Monday this week, we in fact extended the program by another day. And before me, the member for St. Christopher One alerted the public that come Monday the 26th February at 4 p.m. at the Arrivals Hall at Port Zante, we will have a ceremony to which all is being invited. The last formal act, as it were, to initiate mobilization with respect to the building of the second cruise pier will be happening. And we have been advised, and the cabinet do verily believe, that the signing ceremony will take place with all the participants that comprise the syndicate that is financing the cruise pier. It will be a second cruise pier, larger and better, more beautiful, with expanded services. Nothing like that which we have heard about was to have happened. What is happening now is much more grander, and of course more beautiful, and has additional support never contemplated way back then, including the development of the upper lands and space for local people to earn a living. More details of that, of course, will come. Except for me, as the Prime Minister, to say that this will be one of the largest public expenditure ever undertaken by any entity in the country of St. Kitts and Nevis. Close to what? $50 million, give and take a few, will be expended there. You multiply that by 2.7, or if you better arithmetic, you do 2.7169, and you will know that over $135 million will be expended to transform Basseterre as our major capital city, and not only transform the physicality of Basseterre, but most importantly for me and for us, to transform the lives of every Kittitian and Nevisian. Basseterre will look nice and clean, and in the hearts and in the minds of the people, this is the progress. This will be progress. This will bring jobs. This will bring commercial life and give it a boost, enhance commercial life and further boost it. This will bring jobs for all the young men in McKnight, in West Basseterre, West Palm and boys who are looking for work. They will find work. For the young man who recently got the loan from the Fresh Start to set up his steel bending business. This is an opportunity, and several other opportunities are going to be unfolding. The angels are with Team Unity and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis at this time. It is as if everything is happening fortuitously, in order, quietly and deliberately. And that is why I said to the people, we have some time to exercise patience. Sometimes it is not our will, but God's will. Because at this particular juncture, Team Unity's standing couldn't be better. As we're in the last half of the life of the administration and looking forward to the next term and the next term after that, the legacy things are coming and stream now. The legacy things are happening. The $500 commitment, which we explained last night, is being unfolded. A critical promise made is happening just in the nick of time. So all will be well. And that is why we have to ensure that the peace in the country is maintained. Peace and prosperity go hand in hand. That is why we have to exercise calm when others are angry. That is why we have to avoid getting carried away by the talk of incitement and bloodshed in the land, because our country is blessed. And when men go to that extreme, it only reminds us why they should not be in government. And as they go so extreme in wanting bloodshed in the land and even in our parliament, left to them, it would have happened. Our people do what our people throughout history, throughout struggles, have always done. Unbended knees. You go down and you pray. So again, I want to commend all the prayer warriors, wherever they are, overseas, and the island of St. Kitts and Nevis, who have kept the leadership up faithfully and prayerfully, and ask God each time to give us Solomonic wisdom to take our great nation through. It has been a distinct honor for me, Mr. Speaker, to preside as the Prime Minister and to assist the Cabinet as a whole in advancing an agenda that takes St. Kitts and Nevis forward as a prosperous nation, an example of the best managed state in the Western Hemisphere, but most importantly, as a nation under God. May it please you, I thank you.
Stay up to date with news, programs, and activities of the government with SKNIS. Like us on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter. And watch our videos on YouTube. Connect with us today. SKNIS, St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.